Rest isn't a forfeit to your goals, it's an indicator that you are taking them more seriously. The hardest lesson that I've had to learn is to give myself rest in order to actually accomplish anything. This is your reminder that nothing gets done if it's half assed work. If you aren't resting, how do you expect to actually reach your goals? Because not everybody is there 100% all the time. We get lost in this world of like productivity is very much preached, and I also preach about it. Like, I think that you should be productive with more time than not. Like, I think it's important to be productive when you need to be productive, but it's equally just as important, if not more important, to give yourself rest. You won't be able to thrive if you're not fully rested before your next game, before your next meeting, before, like being there for somebody, even. Like, if you're not fully rested and you're not ready to go, then you're not going to thrive. So, we're going to go through ways that you can incorporate rest in your day and also why is it important to rest. Starting with the why here, rest in hustle culture. I feel like it's been very hard for me to find rest, and it wasn't for probably a few months. Like, I just recently started incorporating rest into my life, and the results have been great, whether it's physical or mental. I wouldn't say I was like a David Goggins fan, like get hard, get hard. But it was also like, it was just something that I was like, you know what, this is normal. Like, as a previous athlete, like you had to be working on something, you had to be doing something all the time, and like it would produce results. Like, that is so different. But even when you're tired, like, and you can't function. And while that's good, like I do think I got more results obviously from practicing every day than I was like if I gave myself too much rest. But I do think that like if I had better sleep and took that more seriously, or if I was like fueling my body the way I should have, maybe it could have been a better softball player at the end of the day. But I do think it applies in life because how many times have you just been like, oh, well, I have to eat. I have another meeting though. So I got to push this off, or even like being there for a friend, like you are expected to, like be their ear and like listen to them, be the greatest friend you can, but you've had a crazy day and you haven't had much rest recently, whatever the situation is. I'm trying to make it up on the fly here, but I do think that it's important to give yourself rest because how else are you going to help other people? How else are you going to be there for yourself? One thing that should be trending but isn't is taking a damn break. Like, instead of just grinding yourself out and being exhausted and being like, well, this is what it's expected. Like, burnout is something that everyone faces. It's a normal occasion. It's not. Like, I think that's just happened within the past few years because stress has been everything, and you wonder why heart attacks are in the rise. It's not just because of eating, it's also because of the amount of stress that we put on ourselves. It's almost preached to be tired by the end of the day, and I completely disagree with that. If I could have given myself advice a year ago, it would be to rest more often and just step away from whatever I'm doing more times than not. Because I think, especially in the self development realm, it's so easy to like keep wanting to do more because you're like, well, it's only mental. Like, it's not physical. Like, I'm not tired, but it's like, I reached that point a few months ago. I decided to really like focus myself on, what does wellness look like for me? Like, what is that in reality? It's not just something that I can preach and not do. It's something that I really need to take seriously, especially in rest, in sleep, in quality time, I guess. And I'm not saying just give up on things and like let things slide. I'm saying like intentionally resting. Like, yesterday, I had done a bunch of things. I was outside, I was biking, I was cleaning my apartment, everything like that. And eventually I was like, what else should I do? And I'm like, you know what? This is the time where I can just step aside and wait until I have a next plan because I don't need to be doing something all the time. Like, I can just doom scroll if I wanted to for like 30 minutes and be fine. Like, having self control, but also allowing yourself rest is kind of a weird thing to teeter against. But it's like, it's very important because if you don't know how much rest you need, then you need to figure that out. But you also can't push yourself to like rest super often because resting too often may lead to you not doing something. The point being is that rest is equally and sometimes more important than doing the work. I'll even say open and honestly that I had a hard time like losing weight and I wasn't really trying, I guess, but just recently I decided to like cut because I was like, well, I probably should just because I've never done that before. Like I've always just maintained because I was an athlete and that's how I saw lifting and everything like that. But I started having more rest days and I saw more results. Like I'm down weight and I'm actually like feeling a lot more healthy because my body is given the time to recover. And I'm not a gym expert, I'm not a science person, but I think most people would say to give yourself rest days and take them seriously. Anyways, let's get into ways you can incorporate this into your day to day. Take a tea break. I guess that is actually one way to give yourself rest is to drink some tea. But actually, I'd say meditation and doing affirmations has helped me a lot. I do this whenever I feel down, like whenever I'm feeling tired, like even at work, if I'm feeling tired, I'm like, let's just take a minute and breathe. I think people mistake meditation to be this like hour-long activity when you can just do it for like 5 minutes and it completely resets you mentally and actually it like winds you down. Like it really does decompress a lot of stress. Watching a movie or a show. And yes, without your phone near you. Give yourself off days. Whether that's related to lifting or working out, whatever it is, like even just like having a weekend off, letting yourself do nothing for the day. Self-care is kind of not really trending anymore, I feel like. Like I think there's an idea of it, but then again, it's still like toxic productivity. Self-care can look like anything, but giving yourself a day to really care for yourself, apply that once a month, once a week, whatever it looks like for your schedule and whatever is able to actually attain. It's important to just give yourself a break. Take a walk outside. Fresh air is so good for you. Be around people who fill your cup. Too many times you're around people that are draining. Get around the people that give you energy and you give them energy. It's a good exchange. And I think it can give you the relaxation, the feeling of I can be myself and not feel judged, or whatever that looks like for you when it comes to your support system. There are a few more examples, but those are just a few that I would drop in there that make sure that you give yourself rest. The point being is that rest is so important for your health. That's both physical and mental. There's a larger population that forgets to rest than there is a population that intentionally sets time aside to rest. Remember that rest isn't a forfeit to your goals, it's an indicator that you are taking them more seriously. So give yourself a break. You know what they say, Rome wasn't built in a day. Take a mental minute and really figure out what rest looks like to you and apply that to your day to day. Thank you so much. Peace and love.